Well, this is a little bit different live stream today. I'm actually approaching a more personal topic, and it's forgiveness. But it's really associated with forgiveness and freedom. And I was taught growing up, oh, we forgive, and you're told to tell the other kids on the playground, well, tell them you're sorry, all of that. And we just kind of grew up that way of kindness, of reaching out. And I knew that forgiveness doesn't always mean forgetting, and you don't always have to choose to keep certain people close in your life, but you can still forgive because there's freedom in that. And recently, my husband and I, Greg and I, have been watching a series called The Chosen, and I've really gotten hooked in on it. And it's so well produced. Shows like this usually are not this well produced, and I just really enjoyed it. The characters, and there's a little bit of artistic license, but it's very, very close to what the biblical accounts are of these characters. And one of the recent episodes, in fact, just this last week, was with Matthew, one of the disciples, and Peter, also one of the disciples. Matthew had asked Peter for forgiveness, and Peter, within himself, he could not give it. He was angry, and something that Matthew had done had just been over the line, and was really struggling through that. And at the end of this episode, eventually, and with the biblical account too, we can know that there was forgiveness. But Peter came to the point of him able to forgive, and it was such an emotional scene. And I left that episode realizing there was an area in my life I was having a really big struggle with forgiveness and forgiving another person about some things that had happened really through the years. I'm struggling and I'm still struggling. This is not an easy thing. And it really was an example to me that it doesn't matter what stage of life we're at. We've not just all arrived. And even though we've learned some of these principles growing up or in our businesses and everything else that we're doing, there's always things we need to work on. So I'm just being honest. I am journaling through this. I'm talking through my feelings, through everything. And I want to get to the point that I have complete freedom. And I'm going to get there. I will get there because there is that in my heart. I can't, I major on the majors. I let things go. I usually do. And then it's behind. There's been many instances in my life and some bigger things too. I've just, it's done. It's over. But I'm not there yet with this particular instance. And so, but it was a really good example of how powerful that is. And my encouragement to you, if you are listening through this live stream, if there's areas in your life with that forgiveness and you don't feel the freedom, don't just push it aside. At least meet it head on and go, okay, I'm struggling. Start that journaling, start the talking out. Figuring out how to get beyond that. That doesn't mean that you have to keep either people or instances or even circumstances close, but you should be able to at least forgive and say that it's not going to affect you personally. And that it gives such freedom. I hope that's helped you. By that's an honesty though, and to share that, none of us have just really arrived. And if we think we have, boy, there's going to be something else that comes up. So I hope that's helped to you today because there's a lot of freedom in that mindset, a whole lot of freedom, and I will get there. I will. But I'm just being honest that it doesn't matter what level and what stage of life you're at. I'm at mid-career. I'm way over the mid-career, really, probably right now. But I'm never going to quit working. I love my work. But there's still these little things that I can deal with that are just important for me at this stage of my life, especially as I help so many others. So make sure you connect with me, get my newsletters, you get all the updates, you get all of the live streams, of course, in there, and podcast and all of the recent articles that I write. So the link is in the show notes, so make sure you get that. So thanks so much for connecting with me, Deborah Johnson, and I'll look forward to being with you again next time. Bye-bye for now. Mhm.